Thanks, Reelin. In the press release here, you say, "I don't think Ray Sinclair is a bad guy." Well, had you been out drinking that night when you said this or something? I mean, Ray Sinclair is a bad guy.
Yeah, but I didn't think that. You know, you can't go in thinking you're going to play a bad guy.
This guy is one of the next to Falcon Eddie on Rich Man Poor Man. I mean, who was a very bad guy. This guy is one of the classic bad guys. I mean, he is a rough character. Did you know anybody like this person? Where'd you pull him out of?
No, not at all. I just figured this guy comes up and tries to take my wife away, and I wanted her back, so that was the bottom line for me. But if I was that bad of a guy, I would have cold-cocked him right from the beginning.
That's true, but you were more dangerous than that. Your steely blue eyes, you know, looking at him, it gave me the willies a couple of times, especially when you were dying. That was an interest, but we won't go into that. We can't tell people the plot. Take a shot at telling me what this movie is about in a paragraph, and I think that's very hard to do, so we'll see if you can do it.
Well, what it's about is this uninhibited woman picking up this very conservative guy in New York. She takes him for a wild weekend. When they're on the wild weekend, they stop off at her mother's house, introduces him as her husband. Then they end up going to a high school reunion where she's introducing him as her husband, and I show up at the reunion, and I am her husband. And I want her back.
And so this is so complicated that no one would understand. You know, it's like a soap opera in many ways, and it doesn't do it justice almost to try to tell it in a synopsis form.
It's tough.
It's a very interesting movie, but it's very hard to sell, I think. You know, in a simple story, Dick meets Jane, and Jane goes off with Dick, and it's over with. It doesn't work out that way. In making this movie, what was the hardest part for you? Anything particularly hard? Did you enjoy it? Well, let me approach it this way. Did you enjoy carrying the character home every day, or did you?
I didn't really carry it home. I mean, you're always doing your homework, but then you got to let go of what you did the night before to prepare for the next day, remembering what you did, but I didn't go out and rob liquor stores on the way home or anything, no.
Did you ever just have an attitude? Did you, do you work that way?
Attitude.
You always have an attitude. So. I watched you last night in the film. Do you like, first of all, watching yourself on screen?
It really was such a character and pretty much removed from what I am that I could pretty much look at it like that, but it's still so hard to be objective, and you're seeing the things that it's
and it's so big, blown up there.
Very
like
big
that.
up there. But Jonathan put together such a good movie that everything just flowed so much that I pretty much got caught up in the story instead of just looking at it, analyzing the whole thing.
Do you like watching the preliminaries, the rushes, and that kind of thing to see how you're doing?
No.
Do you prefer not to see the image of yourself?
Definitely. I just don't think, because then you get indulgent, you're thinking what you look like and things like that, and it has nothing to do with what the reality is. It's just creating this person within this structure.
Your background a little bit. You come from, I saw here where you were a bartender for a little while serving drinks in the theater, which is definitely starting at one end and going to the other. You were in a soap opera, Another World, on NBC for a while. What was your character there? Because we're an NBC station. So.
No, it was Joey Perini on Another World.
Okay. Were you a bad guy there too?
No, I was a great guy.
You were a great
Married
guy?
my dying wife, took care of my mother, helped out my sister.
How did they dismiss you from the soap opera?
What had happened after my wife died, I was up on a mountain, and I got very sick and went to the hospital and ended up falling in love with a nurse who was the richest woman in America, and we went off skiing.
And you're still skiing as far as?
We're still skiing. We're still out there.
What a
She had a
job.
lot of money.
Your background in the very beginning from New Jersey, right? Did you always want to be an actor?
No. I pretty much came up being a jock and playing sports, and came time to go to college. My parents thought it was a good idea to go. I wasn't sure if I wanted to, and I done a high school play at that time, and I figured I'd just take theater in Miami and fool around for a year, but I just really started liking it. I really did, and just one thing kind of happened after another.
What do your parents think about your career?
And they're excited about it. They are. I've been somewhat fortunate where I've been consistently, well, not consistently, but working enough to support myself, and they saw that I was happy with what I was doing, so they're very pleased.
Do you expect to get any job offers on the heavy side when some people see you on playing heavies?
Yeah, I'm sure some will be coming in. I think it's probably best to stay away from that for right now, at least this particular kind of heavy, I guess. I mean, if Jack Nicholson needed a sidekick, you know what I'm saying? What could you say?
That's true. You'll have to say yes. I'm trying to think. Do you have any big expectations about this film? What you really want it to be? I mean, what you want? I mean, obviously you want it to succeed, But did you go into it with saying, I've got this mission that I want to do, and I want to, let this be the real career stone, cornerstone for my career?
I didn't look at. I just figured this was my first movie, and I better do the best job that I could. So hopefully that other work will come after. But I really like the acting aspect of acting. I really like doing it. So I just entered into it for that, and hopefully I'll be able to keep that kind of attitude where I just, continue to keep growing as an actor and doing things.
Well, great. I enjoyed the film a lot.
Thanks.
Really good. Thank you.
Okay.